Okay, so can everyone see shadows on their screen right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright then. Okay, so a shadow is basically formed out from two reasons. Alright, everyone would have seen their own shadow. Basically, it is when an object is in front of a light source. So you're going to have a dark formation forming behind the object. Alright, now shadows are formed for two reasons. One of the reasons being that some objects are said to be opaque. Now the word opaque means that light do not pass through them. So that would be like concrete, wood, the color black. Light cannot pass through those objects. So that is, first to begin, the object have to be opaque. It cannot be like clear glass because light would just simply pass through it. Alright, the next thing is that light tends to travel in a straight line. So with these two rules, that is going to form a shadow. Alright, now a shadow sharpness depends on the size of the light source. Alright, so sometimes, let's say you're outdoors, the sunlight or the size of the light from the sun is very large compared to, let's say, if it was a light bulb. So the actual sharpness, which means like the clarity of the shadow, depends on the size of the light source. Now to describe a small source of light, we call it a point source. So a point source tends to give a sharp shadow which is equally dark all over. So let's say I had like a desk lamp and it had a bright bulb in it. That would have been a point source, and that can actually form a sharp shadow. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down. Now I will send you these notes, by the way, so you don't have to rush and write anything here. I'm just showing you this figure here. So we will take a look at the shadow that is forming with a point source. Now this is the bulb, this is the light source. So for instance, this is the point source of light. Here we can see there is a small hole where the light is going to pass through. So that will prove that light is going to pass in a straight line through that hole. When the light passes through that hole and there's an object in front of it, now notice the object is a metal ball. So a metal ball is something that is opaque. Now who remember what the word opaque means? What does opaque mean? Right, so one person at a time. Opaque means light cannot pass through. Alright, so if light cannot pass through, then you're going to have the light that is spreading around the actual edges of the object, and that is going to form that large formation here, which is known as a shadow. Alright, this is just a screen showing where the shadow is formed. Alright, so that is when you have a point source, so it tends to be sharp. Now there's a different source called the extended source. Extended source, that means the light is coming from afar. It's not close and light isn't traveling in a straight line as opposed to the point. Alright, so in this case we have the extended source being further away from the object and light is coming at different directions, not in a straight line as above. So what you're going to notice is you have light spreading in different directions, which is going to form a shadow so you're going to have a darkened region of the shadow and you're going to have a lighter region of the shadow. The dark region is what you call the umbra. Alright, and then the lighter region is what you call penumbra. So those are two words you need to remember. Those two form a shadow form from an extended source. If it was just the point source, you're only going to have an umbra forming, and that is simply shadows in a nutshell. There's more to learn about it, but I will pause at that point. Alright, what I will have you to take, what I will let you take down is this diagram here, those two diagrams that I circled. Alright, I'm just going back to it. Sometimes when you use books on whatever device, it tends to be a little difficult to maneuver. Alright, but let me get it back. I will send it in a more simplified version. I'm not going to send this entire book to you all. Alright, so I'm just going to cut out what is important and I will send that to you all, so you don't have to be scrolling and all of these things. And well, Renessa, I think I'm saying her name correctly or wrong. Let me see. Sorry, Renelle. Let me see, I'm mixing it up. Renelle will be in charge of posting shadows from the actual textbook and putting the page number, because I know some of you may have the book. Now, the people who don't have the book, I would like you to indicate your name on the chat. Right? All those who do not have the book that she showed in class, put your name in the chat here, and you could probably put don't have the textbook. Is that clear?
Yes, miss.
Alright, so I'll look out for that, for those names. So back to what you're taking down. From what I'm going to send will be these two diagrams for sure. You're going to draw it out. You're only using pencil. Label it as you see it. Label the light. Now, anytime you're drawing a light ray, you always put an arrow showing the direction where the light is traveling towards. So you're seeing the arrow traveling outwards, which is going to bounce on the screen here. Alright, then you will also take down this extended source. Okay, so running it will record smoothly, okay? I hope that you'll be able to catch up on what you did here. The extended source diagram will draw exactly as you see. Alright, you will see this message. If you miss something, recording will be posted. Alright. I'm just telling you what to take down right now. Well, for homework. Alright, so pretty much that was all. Say that again. The recording will be posted in the Google Classroom, guys. No, okay. I use something else. I am not using Teams. Alright? I do not use Teams because this is a account. I will mention I am not using because of the guest account. I don't have the full features you're messing up when I send a few days ago saying that I would not edit comments and this kind of thing. Right, so we're currently working on getting that username, that account activated. So as of now, that is why I'm using Google Classroom and all of these things. Alright?